Welcome in everyone, James here, and in this video I am covering a topic that I get messages for all of the time. Everybody's messaging me and asking me how to kill this boss, and the reason I haven't done a video yet is that I just haven't wanted to. This boss is quite possibly the most broken level we have ever seen in the game. As much as I would like to show you an easy way to kill it with low level stuff or no hero charms or whatever, I can't. I am going to show you me using my full build of unique charms and all the rest of it, because there just simply isn't an easy way to kill this boss. And even when you do get the perfect setup, the chances of you winning are completely down to RNG. This thing will just dizzy you 3 or 4 turns consecutively and you will die. Sometimes that happens within the first 60 seconds, sometimes that happens 10 minutes into the fight, and it really does kind of take it out of you when you've been playing for 10-15 minutes. You've got this thing nearly dead and then it dizzies you 4 turns in a row and then you die and then you have to start again. Now, I'm probably the most crazy person in the world because I have gone back into this cave after beating it the first time, and I've beaten it again for you for this video. Now, one of the things you do need for this boss is you need all 5 achievements on your mythic armor. I'm pretty sure it can be done with 4, but this is the kind of boss where you can't really go making it harder for yourself, so I will recommend all 5 achievements, and that means you're going to have to use chisels and spanners and edit your mythic armor, unless you still have the default slots. The default slots are perfect. You get 3 resist slots, which is what we need, and you get 3 starter slots, which is what I'm using in this video. I'm using 3 starter slots and 3 resist slots. So the standard mythic armor set is pretty well built for this level. Now, me being the crazy person that I am, what I'm planning to do is change my mythic armor and main every single class in the game and show you how to kill this boss with every single class in the game. Now, as a lot of you may know, I have been playing warrior for a long time, so in this video I will be covering the warrior class, and this is it. This is the build that I am using, and this is what I deem to be the perfect setup for this boss. Now, if you could go with a few more armor charms, a little bit more defense, that would probably help, but I'm using 3 pieces here for the hero charms. That is 375% warrior boost. Those are the 3 pieces you see there: the shoulders, the arms, and the boots. And then on the chest I have 1 weaken chance, that is 60%, and 4 armor charms. That's all the armor I'm taking, but because all of my gear is leveled up, those 4 armor charms will give me about 2 million armor, which it's not a bad number. I'm not taking any health here because I have the helmet for full utility, and on the helmet I have got 3 poison resist charms, and that takes it past 100%, but 100% is all you need, because what that does is it nullifies all poison damage from the outlaw enemies here. I'm not saying it works in the arena if you're fighting somebody who has a poison build. I think the charms will counteract each other a little bit, but in PvE you only ever need 100%. That's going to completely nullify it. When you get poison put on you, the icon will come on the top left underneath your armor, and then it will just disappear and you will take 0 damage. It'll be like it wasn't even there. So that is a huge point for this fight. You don't really want to be taking passive damage from poison when this thing can dizzy you, and then you only have 1 action, so you just stood there. You can't really do anything. You can't heal, you can't cleanse. There's not a lot you can do, so those 3 poison charms are essential here. And then I've got 1 more weakened chance that is unique as well, so that's 120%. Now, it's widely thought that anything over 100% is too much, and with 2 unique charms here, 120%, this works really well. So I would definitely recommend somewhere around there, somewhere above 100% with your own charms. If you have purple and you use 2, you get 96%, which is quite a lot. That will probably work just as well, but you will have to test it out. I'm not entirely sure. You might need 3. And then on the last slot I have an exposed chance. This is just to help Queen Crater. This is optional. but I find if Queen Critter is putting expose on them with her base power, you are able to clear out that front row a little bit quicker. And there's one of them big Minotaur bull things that everybody hates. It's got 10 million health or something stupid, and it heals itself all the time, so the expose will help you deal extra damage versus annoying enemies like that, and it does make this fight a little bit smoother. Now for the heroes, there's a couple of options here. The first hero, if you play warrior class, has to be Logan. He is non-negotiable in all PvE content. If you are playing the Expert Rift, you are playing the Atlantica Romans, you're playing the story mode in Atlantica, you really need Logan, because he gives you heals from his base power, and he will weaken the entire field with his rage power, and weaken is minus 35% incoming damage, and that is in this game huge. So Logan, non-negotiable, we need him. Now for the second hero, you could go with Azar, or you could go with Queen Critter. Now Azar, if you have him max stars, he will provide cleanse and a free turn protect, which is huge, because this octopus can put dizzy on you for 3 turns. What Azar does is, when you get that 3 turn dizzy, you use his base power, he will cleanse it and give you protect for 3 turns, and that will just keep you extra safe. He'll give you a little heal as well. You would have to be taking the Maverick Gauntlet, but the problem is you have to think about it. So you have to swing, punch, fill the rage up. You're always thinking about it, you're always counting your actions, and it's exhausting. That's why I'm not using Azar here, because this boss can kill you within 60 seconds. You can be playing for 10 minutes and then it will just kill you. You can be playing 15 minutes and then it will just kill you. So in my opinion, it's better to take a hero where you don't really need to think about it, and that for me is Queen Critter. So what you do is you equip either the Dark or the Valiant Gauntlet. The Valiant Gauntlet is better, and take Queen Critter. What Queen Critter does is fills your rage up, and she can expose the front row as well, which will give you more damage against the enemies on the front row, as I just mentioned. Now for the weapon, I have built this axe. It's a bit of a hybrid between the damage hammer and the triangle sword. So what I've put on it is 2 unique protect charms. These really need to be unique for this setup. If you don't have unique, you could just stick with the sword here. I'm using this just for extra damage, because with the 2 unique protect, you get 100%. That means every time you swing it, you're gonna get protect for 1 turn. It's guaranteed. Then for the other 3 slots, I have got 1 crit chain chance and 2 crit chain damage. Now that's just going to give me a little bit of extra damage versus the Minotaur thing and Achilles in the back as well, because Achilles has this regen buff that is quite ridiculous. He will regen for 500k every single turn, and it is incredibly annoying because most of the time you will get to the back row, you'll have him isolated, you'll get him really low, his health bar will be red, and then he'll dizzy you for like 4 turns and regen 2 million health. You can use Ayako or Dokio to take the regen buff off of him. We don't have that kind of utility on the warrior class, so we just have to deal with the regen. Obviously when I go through all the classes, I will be talking about the rest of the heroes and the pros and cons of that as well. And I'm attuning this axe to Demon for the Minotaur thing, and to Beast because Achilles is incredibly annoying. It's just nice to have extra damage versus those 2 types for this fight. And then for the armor, I have attuned 3 pieces to Beast and 2 pieces to Outlaw. And now just to quickly recap why we need all 5 attunements. Weaken on all of the enemies will lower their damage by 35%. Then protect on yourself will lower incoming damage by another 35%. That's 70% when they are both active. 70% damage negation. That's huge by itself. Then each one of your attunements will give you 10%. So with this layout here, we have 3 beast attunements. That's 30%. So if we have weaken and protect active, beast enemies will deal 0 damage. And we have 20% outlaw here as well, so when weaken and protect is active, the outlaws will only deal 10% damage. That's 90% damage reduction, and the outlaws in this fight can hit you incredibly hard. And that's it, that's the setup. Now on the screen there, I've been showing you some of the fails because yeah, this boss is brutal, but now I'm going to show you the one where I won. And I just want to reiterate that even though I beat it in this video and I have this set up, you will build this entire setup just for a chance to beat it. It's complete RNG. I cannot guarantee that you will win, so don't come in my comments and say this doesn't work, I died straight away. I'm telling you that this thing is unfair. Difficulty here is artificial. It's from random chance dizzy. You just have to get lucky to beat it. But here we go. This is the fight. One thing that I forgot to mention here is the potions that I'm using. Now, potions are pretty key for this. I'm using the green heroism potions here, and starting out with one on the first round. For every attempt I've done this, because it allows you to get your weaken and protect up in the first turn. The problem is you just don't know if the octopus is going to dizzy you or not. I did record this with audio at the time, and when I got to this fight I had been recording for over an hour of dying to this boss, so I've cut that audio because I will definitely get in trouble if I had left it in. But yeah, all you're doing really is once you have your weaken and protect up, you are trying to maintain it. The octopus can put dizzy on you at any point. It can put dizzy on you with its base power, so you have to just keep plodding along. And because we're not taking Azar or another protect hero with us, because protect is coming from the weapon, if you do get dizzied, the 9 times out of 10 the best thing to do is to swing the weapon to refresh your protect. The first objective for me in the first round is to kill off that troll enemy. That is the only troll enemy in this fight, and so there's no point in putting acid charms on or anything like that. Just try and kill him before he puts acid on you, and if he does put acid on you, it will deal quite a lot of damage, but try and heal it back up if you get enough turns. Like, I got lucky there because Achilles' special did not put dizzy on me, so it allowed me to have a full turn here, and this is how you win this fight. You just have to get lucky, because if it puts dizzy on you at the wrong time, then you're gonna die, especially when you get into round 2. When you get into round 2, you have an outlaw in the back that can put poison on you, you have the Minotaur in the front that can put fury on himself, and if you get dizzy a few turns in a row consecutively, then you will undoubtedly die. For this round though, once you do get the octopus isolated, he is a lot easier to manage because we have 100% damage negation from him, so he can't deal any damage to us as long as we maintain weaken and protect. That gets a little bit tricky when he puts the 3 turn dizzy on you. So what I try to do here is use Logan's rage power just before he uses that power, and you use Logan to heal as well because he gets the strong versus beast buff. Obviously expose doesn't like landing on him. I think he's resistant to it. I can't say I checked, but expose hardly ever seems to land on him. But if you do get exposed on him, Logan's heal will deal even more damage because his base power is strong versus exposed, so that's a massive buff alongside the strong versus buff that he's already getting. So using Logan a couple of times will 9 times out of 10 fill up your health again and get you ready to go. And then all you have to do is, once he is isolated, just try to maintain your protect. He will put dizzy on you and he will regen a lot of health, but you just have to keep attacking it. And a key thing here is trying to get into the next round with your heroes charged up. There is a massive danger because if you kill him off while you have dizzy, you will go into the next round with dizzy and just get annihilated. So you have to try and make sure that you don't have dizzy when he goes down. I'm trying to make sure that my rage is full and that Queen Critter is charged up as well, so that I can rage twice, ideally as soon as I get into that second round. Doesn't work every time. Sometimes it's impossible to plan for, because you don't know when it's going to dizzy you. You might get him really low like this, and then it dizzies you 3 or 4 turns consecutively and heals a bunch. There is an element of chance to it getting into the second round. You can see here I got into the second round, Queen Critter is almost charged up, so I'm able to rage twice. on the first round. And the goal here, once you get into the second round, is taking out that dude at the back behind the Minotaur, because his power hits your health directly and it does a ton of damage. And then the other outlaw guy on the front row next to the Minotaur, his power will attack your health directly as well. So if they sync up and both attack you on the same turn, then you're going to be in real trouble, especially if you don't have weaken and protect up. You're probably going to die if they both do their power on the same turn. So incredibly important. And what I'm trying to do is get rid of the dude on the back and focus attacks on the Minotaur, because when he uses his power he gets fury and he heals himself a ton as well. Now, I have mentioned it in a few videos now, but the buffs and debuffs overwrite each other. Every buff has its opposite, every debuff has its buff. Fury and weaken, you can tell they look exactly the same, they are opposites. So if you put weaken on him, then he puts fury on himself, fury is active, then he has fury active. If you put weaken on him again, weaken is now active. They do not counteract, they overwrite each other. This is key to seeing what's happening on the screen. If you look at it, he's got a fury buff and he's got a weaken buff. It's hard to know which one is actually active, so you do really need to pay attention and pay close attention to it and keep it in back of your mind which one is active, which one you need to overwrite and stuff like that. And you can see I just used a potion there, vigor potion, because I got the free turn dizzy. So yeah, stay mindful, these are the vigor potions. These ones heal your health and armor by I think 25%, but they cleanse all of your debuffs as well. That includes dizzy. A lot of people used to think that if you had dizzy you could use a haste potion. Haste potions don't do anything. If you use a haste potion while you have dizzy, it will just waste it, because when you have dizzy you only get one action. The only potion that can really get rid of it is a vigor potion. Now obviously if you had a cleanse hero, if you had Azar with you, you could use Azar to cleanse it, and then you get the free turn protect as well, but we're not using Azar. And as I've said, at this point I was recording for over an hour, so I was just playing it sort of on autopilot. I got the free turn dizzy there. Again, there's not a lot I can do. He's about to put fury on himself and I would die instantly if they both hit me, so I used another vigor potion there, and as you can see I've got no potions left. So now if I end up in a situation like that where I get the dizzy and it looks like I'm going to die, everybody's charged up ready to go, then there's not a lot I can do. And sometimes you can use up your potions on round 1, sometimes you use them up on round 2. Because there's so much random chance to this, you can't really plan for anything. You can see I've got a full turn here because I don't have dizzy, but my health is low, so I'm going to hit the Logan base power there to get a bit of a heal and try and expose the Minotaur. I'm trying to focus on taking out the Minotaur right now, because once you get Achilles isolated he becomes a lot more manageable and a lot easier to deal with. And my health is still low, but the Minotaur is weakened. I don't have any demon attunements on the armor, so he's still going to hit me with 30% of his power. But Achilles won't be dealing any damage as long as weaken and protect is active, because I have the 3 beast attunements. I actually got the make him walk trick there, where he was about to use his power but I made him walk to me so he didn't. That gives me more time to use another Locust base power and start trying to heal. Now that he's isolated, I can focus damage, focus on getting my health back to full, and try and get into the next round with all the hero powers charged up. See, this is where you have to change your pace a little bit. You have to kind of watch the health bar, and you're trying to get into the next round in the best possible position you can. If you go into the next round and you have 2 turns of dizzy, you'll still have 2 turns of dizzy and then you'll just get annihilated. So you have to be really careful that you don't kill him by accident, and you have to try and plan ahead when you're going to kill him, and try and make sure everything is charged up when you do go into that third round. And obviously he's regenerating 500k every turn, which does not help at all in trying to plan when you will move into round 3. But yeah, you just change pace a little bit, try and get him low, and then start trying to work on charging everything up before you finish him off. You can see I'm going to fill the rage here, and then I'm going to attempt to fill up Queen Critter's base power and then move into the next one. And he put Dizzy on me and threw a spanner in the works there, regened another 500k. So yeah, it's a bit of a balancing act. You have to try and maintain your weaken. Logan's obviously going to hit him incredibly hard. And I went into the third round. Queen Critter was charged, but I don't have any rage. Now in the third round, you've got that big dude there. When you hit him, it will charge his power up, and behind him there is an outlaw archer. He will put fury on himself, not any of the others, just on himself, but with fury he will hit you incredibly hard. Then you have the beast enemy on the right hand side. His power will hit your health directly, and you have a dizzy enemy on the back right hand side as well. If their power charges up, they have a chance to put dizzy on you, as well as Achilles. Because we're using Logan, the beast enemies will go down pretty quickly, but what we want to do is try and kill the archer in the back, because that's where the danger is here. You can use the beast enemy on the front row to get a bigger heal from Logan. I have been in this round a couple of times and saved him, left him alive, just to use him to get bigger heals off. But if you leave him alive too long, the outlaw here will put protect on everybody and fill everybody's health back up, and then you end up in real trouble. So you really want to try and get rid of these beast enemies as quickly as you can, especially the one on the back row. It's just kind of extra annoying that every time you hit the outlaw there, it charges his power. Now, I could swing to get protect here because I'm dizzied, but what I decided to do was use a Logan rage power to get rid of those two beast enemies. So that's going to leave me vulnerable. I won't have protect, but weaken is active, so that's still 35% less damage. And the achievements as well on top of that. So 55 from the outlaws and 65 from Achilles himself. Now you can see my health is pretty low now. The archer in the back would probably shoot to kill rather than use his power, so I'm going to use a Logan base power here to heal some of that health back up. And yeah, it's a massive balancing act. Again, you have to try and kill this outlaw, but he's going to start putting protect on himself and spamming heals to all of his allies, so there's not a lot you can do. The outlaw archer is about to put fury on himself, which again is another problem. I need to overwrite it with weaken, and you have to kind of keep an eye on all of these problems. So the outlaw archer there put fury on himself, then I overwrite it with weaken. You have to kind of keep watching what is happening on the field, be mindful about who's got what buff on them and whether you have the debuff to counter it or not. And the goal, now we've got rid of the beast enemies, is just to get Achilles isolated as quickly as possible, because once he is isolated, he is a lot easier to deal with. Now I've got these two enemies here. He's putting fury on himself, which I think it would take him probably 2 shots to kill us. If we receive a 3-turn dizzy when we don't have any potions now, we are dead. So there's a lot of times you will get to this round, and then the dizzy RNG will get you and you will die, and you've just got all the way through round 1 and round 2, and it is incredibly annoying. So you just have to hope that you keep getting lucky. Now I managed to overwrite his fury with weaken before I got that 3-turn dizzy there. Which I think is the only reason I didn't die. because if that archer had fury on, he would be dealing a ton of damage. Now you can see I am dizzied, my rage is not charged, I've only got one action. I decided to swing for protect because there wasn't a right lot I could do there. And I'm 1 HP now. That's just from one shot from the archer, because he has fury. So now what I need to do is get weakened back up and then heal so that the archer can't finish me off. And I managed to move into the back row with this turn. Now once I've got into the back row, I'm focusing all attacks on that archer, because the only thing that I need to do to finish this fight and win is get Achilles isolated before I end up taking like a 4-turn dizzy. Because it's always a possibility that this thing will just dizzy you 3 or 4 turns consecutively and leave you with no options whatsoever. And this guy's constantly putting fury on himself that overwrites my weaken. So the only thing I really want to do is just get him out of the way. This archer is kind of the last hurdle you need to jump before you end up looking like you're gonna win, because even though I've got full health here, I could still die at any point. Now once he's dead, all I need to do is focus on killing the octopus. I don't need to go into the next round where rage is charged. I don't need to do anything like that. All I need to do is just get that health bar down. So I go for a critter rage here because critter is a distributor, and when it's a single enemy, she will deal more damage than Logan would, because the rage distributes between all of the enemies. So if there's only one enemy, you get the full power. Using Queen Critter's rage there, it is kind of dangerous, because rather than refreshing your weaken, you use a different rage power, and then there's always the possibility that it could dizzy you for like 2-3 turns consecutively, and you didn't refresh your weaken when you had the chance. So it is kind of dangerous, but I just wanted to get it dead at this point. The recording is 1 hour and 12 minutes long, and this was the last fight. Obviously I stopped recording once I killed him, but yeah, I've been playing for so long at this point. I've wasted so many torches to get the RNG to work. I showed you in the beginning of the video the amount of times that I failed trying to get this, but yeah, the build works, the charms work, the heroes are good. You just have to get incredibly lucky, and again, just because you saw me kill it, that doesn't mean you're going to go in there and kill it in like one attempt. It's probably going to kill you a good amount of times, but that is how I did it. And now quickly, while I have your attention, if you haven't checked this out yet, go into the game and press the social button on the left hand side. If you press that and then go to the Knighthood, you can get yourself some free chests, and if you get the gem chest, it refreshes I think once a week or 5 days, 6 days, somewhere around there, can't really remember, but you get the gem chest and it has purple heroes in it, so there's a chance to get yourself a purple hero absolutely free. You go in there, it will log you in automatically. When you claim the free chest, they will go directly to your inbox in game, and you can buy some of the deals that you find in the store for a little bit cheaper on the web store. So go check that out and see what you get. You might get something good. But that's it from me today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I have been James B09. Good luck out there.